What it is, folks, it's your homeboy Fur back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. It may look as if I am solo dolo for the promo right now, but I got one of my young boys here with me. Okay? Now, I told y'all you need to go back to the genesis of Put It On Something. I mean, you need to go all the way back to the beginning to Put It On Something. And you'll see initially when I started this thing, it was supposed to be a show that featured me, my brothers, and my young boys. And so y'all can get like a generational dynamic, a cross-generational dynamic of sports talk. You feel me? But of course, it's morphed into, me just dominating the thing. Due to everybody having their own things to do and things like that. But I am very happy, America, to have one of my youngins here with me. Okay, this young man has made me very proud, America. Okay, and I know he's going to continue to do so because I know he's going to be one of those ones graduating from the illustrious Jackson State University, not too far off. Okay, I know as I tape today is graduation day, so shout out to all the graduates. But I got a future graduate right here with me today. Okay, so without further ado, America, I present to you my young boy, Shelvie Brooks.
What's going on, Cole? What's going on?
What it is? Man, we don't want to waste no time. We're going to go ahead and get into it and get the people exactly what they want, okay? A lot of people been talking about the draft today, okay? Which concluded today. Started Thursday, went through Friday and concluded today on Saturday as we're taping, you feel me? And a lot of folks in the HBCU community, they up in arms because only one player throughout HBCU football was taken in the draft, and that is Isaiah Bolden of Jackson State University. Okay. Now, a lot of HBCU players have gotten snatched up as undrafted free agents. Okay. Shout out to Kings like Aubrey Miller. Okay. Shout out to Kings like Nugget. You'll know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm naming the guys that for Jackson State University. That's who I support. That's who I cover. You feel me? I know Isaiah Land. I think he got snatched up by the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of folks getting snatched up. But in terms of the draft, only one got drafted. So a lot of people feel some type of way about that. Okay. I want to give a perspective that's you're not going to get anywhere else. Okay. But before I get into that, I do want to hear the thoughts from a current Jacksonian. Okay. Y'all see it on his chest. Okay. He's up there at the school right now. Okay. So, Shelvie, can you give us from the perspective of a student that's there? Okay. How are you feeling about only one player being taken?
I mean, I feel like, they really be sleep on the HBCU products and stuff because I feel like they don't feel like they play that talent that other people in the draft play. But I don't feel like it's true though, because like if you go look at it, I feel like if you take some of them boys from the HBCU, they can go compete with them other top schools and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
So you thinking that they're not getting the love because these teams are thinking they haven't played the kind of competition or something?
And I feel that way. I definitely feel that way. I feel like that too, and because I took a intro class this semester, and we were talking about how just because it's like even if you go for a job, they'll look at a PWI before they look at an HBCU graduate. You know what I'm saying? So even it's the same with the NBA. It's the same with the NFL. I mean, baseball, some people get lucky, but at the same time, why are we not looking at these schools? Why are we not putting these schools? Everybody's so HBCU happy. Everybody, go to HBCUs and all this. But at the end of the day, we ain't getting the same love as them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Deion did do his thing, coming to coach, even though he is on some that foul stuff he on right now, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he did his thing. He even shout out to Ed Reed. You know, he put it on blast. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we ain't getting enough love simply because we black. That's how I feel, simply because we black. Yeah.
Okay. And you're entitled to that perspective, okay? And I want to say to the real ones out there, you might see a little lag, you know, when it comes to my young boy. He out in the country right now, okay? But he really wanted to get on with me today for episode 150, you know what I'm talking about? So if the youngin asks, I got to, you know what I'm talking about, I got to follow through on that, you feel me? All right, but, Shelvie, I want to let the people know about something that I taught y'all, okay? And I taught this young man. I coached him and I taught him. So he had sat in my classroom before. He can attest to how I get down. You feel me? But y'all sit down there in the banner, America. I want to talk about something. So this is going to be a refresher for you, Brooks. A refresher. But I taught y'all about Brown v. Board of Education. You remember that, okay? And we know Brown v. Board of Education is a Supreme Court case that eliminated segregation in the public schools. And one of the unintended effects of Brown v. Board of Education is that integration helped SEC football and killed HBCU football to an extent. Okay. Now, the energy is still behind HBCU football. The pageantry is still behind HBCU football. The bands are lit. The gameplay is dope. Okay. The coaching is good. But these 5-star players, these 4-star players who just all they got to do is stay alive, basically, and they're going to go to the NFL. Now they going to the SEC. What you talking about, Fer? Where you getting that from, Fer? If you look at it, okay, and they telling me for the 17th year in a damn row, for the 17th year in a row, the SEC has had the most people drafted. Now, some people might hear that, Brooks, and they might say, oh, that's just because the SEC know how to develop. See, the SEC got the facilities. The SEC. Bullshit. That is not it.
Straight bull.
It's because the SEC is in the South, and predominantly when it comes to black people, this is still the region that is the blackest region of the country.
Yes.
And so them top-notch guys who used to go to HBCUs, they had no damn choice. They used to go to HBCU before Brown v. Board. They used to go to HBCUs. And even after Brown v. Board was 1954. But after 1954, the racist whites in the South said, fuck Brown v. Board of Education. We still gonna keep our shit all white.
Oh, dude.
They said, fuck that. Okay. It took a while before they finally started letting these boys go ahead and go to the Ole Misses and the Mississippi States and the LSUs and the Alabamas. Okay. But Brooks, again, you've seen this, Brooks, and you've sat in the class.
You told us.
But some real ones around the world, they haven't seen stuff like this. So let me show y'all this picture, America. Take a look at this picture, America. Okay? Take a look at this picture. This is a very famous picture, by the way. Okay? You see this guy in the picture that's standing in the schoolhouse door? Okay? That guy, this guy right here. Okay? That guy's name is George Wallace, America. George Wallace, okay? Now, you might wonder, who is George Wallace first? Who is George Wallace? George Wallace is the former segregationist governor of the state of Alabama, okay? This motherfucker was so open with his racism, okay? He ran for president one time, America. And you know how Trump got Make America Great Again and Obama had hope and change and shit like that. This motherfucker, George Wallace, his campaign slogan basically was segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Okay? When it came to the University of Alabama, okay, He said before he allowed black people to go to Alabama, yes, that Alabama, the Alabama that was tied for the highest number of draftees in this draft, okay? They tied with Georgia. Alabama had 10, Georgia had 10. That Alabama, most of that 10 were black men, okay? So that Alabama, this man, George Wallace, would have been rolling over his damn grave to see all them black folks at Alabama. Now, to be forthright, supposedly he changed his life and everything like that before he died and changed his views, okay? But that ain't the one that changed his views right there in that picture. That motherfucker that in the picture right there, the way he felt at that time, okay, was on some segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, okay? Now, it just so happened that because of Brown v. Board of Education, okay, which ruled again that separate but equal was illegal in public schools, okay, and that segregation was wrong in public schools. Y'all see this cat over here, America? That dude right there was representing the president of the United States at that time, John F. Kennedy, okay? So when you in this face-off versus the feds and the state, George Wallace had to get his motherfucking ass out the way. He had to take his little speech about states' rights and all that bullshit and get the fuck out the way. And black folks been going to that school, and that's part of the reason Alabama does what it does, because they got them black boys out there. Okay, so you might say, Ferg, what the fuck this got to do with football? I'm about to tell you what it got to do with football. Okay, this is what it got to do with football. I looked up the draft in 1970. Okay, I went to a nice round number, like 1970. Okay, it was very different from what we just saw. Brooks, I'm trying, very different. Your granddaddy saw some shit. Okay, I don't think the draft was as big a spectacle as it is now. But if he looked in the newspaper and looked at the draft, he remembers a time when in 1970, okay, you had the number 10 pick, first round, number 10 from a HBCU, from Texas Southern, okay? Also in the first round, and I might skip some folks, I'm just scanning. You had somebody at 14, North Carolina Central, Doug Wilkerson. Oh, and that number 10 pick, I'm sorry, Ken Burrow was number 10 out of Texas Southern. So in the first 15 picks, you got 2 HBCU cats now. And this is 1970. You feel me? I can keep going. We still in the first round, Brooks. Okay. We still in the first round. I'm jumping on down here to number 24. A cat named Raymond Chester, Morgan State. Okay. 3 first rounders.
Morgan State.
Okay. Now I'm getting into the second round. And the second round, HBCUs did the fool. Okay. I'm looking at the number 34, 35, 36, and 37th pick. All HBCUs. A brother named Ray Jones from Southern, a brother named Donnie Williams from Prairie View, a brother named Joe Jones from Tennessee State, a brother named Alden Roast from Southern, okay? And it didn't stop there. It kept going. Number 40 pick, Bill Dusenberry from Johnson C. Smith. It didn't stop there. Jackson State had a boy going the second round. Rich Castor. Shout out to that king of Jacksonian, you feel me? Third round, Southern, the number 1 pick in the third round. So first pick in third round, 53rd overall. Guy from Southern named Mel Blunt. He's a Hall of Famer. Okay. I mean, I can keep going. Y'all know Grambling shows up in here. Alcorn was a guy. This 1970. I ain't make it out of the third round, Brooks. I just gave you 50 level motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. What?
So I understand what you're thinking about the racism aspect of it. But what I'm trying to tell you is it was even more racist back then, and they were still taking them. Why? Because that's where the studs were. That's where the studs were. because Brown v. Board of Education really hadn't really been enforced yet. So you still had the stud black guys going to black schools. And so the NFL folks, they were like, shit, fuck that. I'm going to take them. The NFL by 1970 was really starting to be more for real integrated. You know, it was slow rolling like Jim Brown. But Jim Brown back in the 50s and early 60s, you know, it still had black folks few and far between. It was slowly progressing. By the 70s, you start to see a lot of black folk, but you still see a lot of them still at the HBCUs. It really wasn't until the 80s until the white schools really started snatching all these guys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So integration to help that SEC. It hurt the SWAC and the MEAC and all these other ones, man. So when I look at that, all things considered, given the fact that you got the big old white schools with these big old stadiums, and they have big old training facilities, and they got a PlayStation for you right there, all in your locker. Everybody got a PlayStation in the fucking locker. I don't know. They got all kind of bells and whistles for you. Okay, they got the little chili that's coming to rub on you. Okay, and do all these things. They got all this going on. They got the boosters that got that money, who before NIL was paying these boys under the table. Everybody knows it. Countless players on these podcasts are now admitting it. They used to be getting cars. Their mama used to be getting home. Their bills used to be getting paid for.
I seen it in person.
And now in NIL, you know that stuff, it just went to a whole nother level now. It's a reason why them boys had on so much drip. Did you watch the first round? Everybody in the first round dripped out. Ice Age is back. I'm like, what the hell going on? Oh, my bad. These boys got their NIL bag. That's what's going on.
Hey.
So we facing that. We facing all of that. And we still got somebody drafted. Roll with me now. I told y'all who was at the top of that list, right? That was Alabama and Georgia with 10 apiece. Okay? But I can't compare Jackson State to Alabama and Georgia. Let's look at Jackson State compared to schools that are relatively its size. Let's look at the FCS as a whole. Nobody in the FCS had more people drafted than us. Even North Dakota State, South Dakota State, who everybody swears this powerhouse, and if we ever played them, we'll get drugged. They had one person. North Dakota State had one person drafted. South Dakota State had one person drafted. So did we. And we got all our D-boy getting snatched up in the undrafted free agent. Conference USA, okay, which is in the FBS, okay, but considered a mid-major or group of 5, okay. Charlotte, one person drafted. UAB, one person drafted. Western Kentucky, one person drafted. Just like Jackson State University. Let's go to the Mountain West Conference, okay. Boise State got 2. Boise State's a huge brand in college football too now. Okay, y'all know they got the blue field and everything. They only got 2. I won. But everybody else, Fresno State, 1. New Mexico, 1. San Jose State, 1. Okay, go to the MAC. Eastern Michigan, they got 2. The other teams there, Ball State, 1. Bowling Green, 1. Central Michigan, 1. Western Michigan, 1. Toledo, 1. Independent. Now, this shit here shocked me. Notre Dame, which is a blue blood, which spends an ungodly amount of money on their football program. They only had 3. We only 2 guys behind them, and Aubrey could have definitely got drafted. You know what I'm talking about? We definitely thought he was gonna get drafted. Go to the Sun Belt. Okay. ODU had 3, Appalachian State had 2, but Louisiana, 1. South Alabama, 1. Troy, 1. And the school that's like Jackson State is the 4th biggest school in the state of Mississippi, but the 3rd biggest school is Southern Miss, and Southern Miss had 1 person drafted, a cornerback. Southern Miss, y'all know that's the other school I got ties to. That's why I did my undergraduate studies. Southern Miss got a stud wide receiver named Jason Brownlee. He didn't get drafted.
So then I was just gonna say him too.
He's a stud. Now, part of that is we didn't have a quarterback down there to get the man the ball. We were running super back shit. We were juggling quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. But that man there is a stud.
What true?
He didn't get drafted. We tied with him. So you see what I'm saying? If we change our perspective, I can go to some of these other conferences. The AAC, SMU had 1. Tulane only had 2. If I go to the Pac-12, we equal to Cal. That's what Marshawn Lynch played football. That's where Aaron Rodgers played football. Washington State is tied with us with 1. Arizona State got 1. Texas Tech got 1. West Virginia, 1. Baylor, 1. Virginia Tech, where Michael Vick played his football, 1. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we look at it from that standpoint, we did a damn good job. Even by getting 1. Because we got all these forces working against us. We got it well, even if you come to Jackson State or FAMU or any one of these schools, you come to that, if you turn up, now the big white schools finna try to just come throw a bag at you and get you to transfer. Like, we got so much shit working against us, and we still got somebody drafted. You know what I'm saying? So looking at it from that perspective, I'm going to take the win, and I'm going to say we need to keep pushing. Okay? It's going to take a cultural change. It's going to take y'all, Shelvie. It's going to take your generation and under for y'all to raise y'all boys to really, really consider playing for HBCU. It's going to take that. Now, it's going to be tough because, again, the big white school's going to be coming at y'all. They're going to come at you, Shelvie. You're going to be the daddy. They're going to promise you a big old truck. They're going to promise you maybe a new job that pays $100,000. They're going to say they'll put you on the coaching staff as a position coach. They're going to come at you without that because that's what they do. That's what they do. They come with the bags, and we could know because of the socioeconomic differences in America due to systemic racism, racial discrimination. We don't got the same money these motherfuckers got. So it's going to take y'all to tell your kid, as still in the line from Deion Sanders, don't worry about the NIL, worry about the NFL. Because if you're a 5-star, I don't give a fuck where you go to school, they going to draft you.
Yeah.
If Travis Hunter has stayed at Jack State for 3 years, they going to draft that man. Because who not going to draft him? Y'all called him the number 1 player in the country, but then he chose to go to Jack State, and then y'all not gonna draft him. They not gonna do that.
Man,
only way they'll do that is if you come out and be political.
Yep, that's the only way.
And he ain't that. You know,
we know Travis ain't that.
He ain't that. So that's what it's gonna take, though. You're gonna take a cultural change to say, fuck the short term. I'm going long term. And that's tough for even grown folks to do. I know a lot of people look at me and think I'm crazy for not taking the deal and becoming the principal. Because it was short term, I get $70,000 to $80,000. But I'm gonna have to be working in that system that I disagree with. You see what I'm saying? And that's what these motherfuckers are doing. They are taking these deals with these schools that they know these fans in that stand don't like their motherfucking ass. They know a lot of time their head coach don't even like their ass. But they feel like, well, I'm just gonna have to work with the position coach anyway, and the NIL deal for the slap. So fuck that, I'll go ahead and do it. That's what they doing. So it's tough for a lot of folks to do. So we got all this shit working against us, man. It's gonna take time to change it. But until we get this shit changed, I'm gonna say congratulations to Zay Bolden.
Shout out Zay, man.
Congratulations to all the youngins who got swept up with them free agent deals. You feel me? And I still feel that it's only right that we strike up the motherfucking band. Let's go! And I want y'all to know, anything that sounded like it was a mess up right there, that was not the boom. That's because it's internet lagging, okay? Because the boom, I've never heard the boom fuck up, okay? If they had a draft for the band, everybody in the boom still going in the first round. Brown v. Board of Education didn't stop that. We still own that. Don't play. You understand me, okay? But I do want y'all to understand, we got to win today. Change your perspective on it, okay? Keep fighting. Change things culturally in terms of from the ground up, all right? Our schools aren't fucking inferior. And we were able to have the draft sold up in 1970. Had it sold up then with lesser facilities and all that kind of shit. Then it's clearly not about that. It's about whose schools are getting the 5 stars and 4 stars. And I don't know if we can turn back the clock to go before Brown v. Board and get these boys in mass to come back. I don't know if that can happen in football. In basketball, I done told y'all that can happen there. They won't listen to me, Brooks. It can happen quicker in basketball because you got the one and done. These boys just stay on campus 6 months, show love, pack the gym, get highlights. They still get the NIL and everything from Nike and everybody else. It can happen over there. I don't know in football, but whatever the case, we working. All right? Put it on, son.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?